In Kyoto, there's a neighborhood tourists never enter before 6 in the morning. And if they did, they'd see something strange. Women in their 60s, 70s, stepping out of their homes with glowing skin, clear eyes, upright posture, as if they'd slept 10 hours on a cloud. They didn't sleep 10 hours. Many sleep 6, some 5.5. And yet they never look tired. For decades, researchers studying the so-called blue zones, regions of the planet where people live longer and age with less visible decline, have turned their attention to Okinawa in southern Japan, trying to understand a pattern that Western science keeps overlooking. It's not just how much these women sleep. It's how they prepare to sleep, following a silent protocol passed from mother to daughter for over 1,000 years, one that almost no woman outside Japan has ever heard named. The Japanese call it suimin no saho, something like the etiquette of sleep. It's not a technique, it's a philosophy for closing the day, and it's about to dismantle everything you've learned about sleep hygiene in the West. If you go to bed exhausted and wake up more tired than when you lay down, the problem isn't the number of hours. It's that no one ever taught you to close the day the way a Japanese woman closes hers. Today, you'll learn the 5 pillars of that rule. And the last one, the most forgotten, is what truly separates a rested face from an exhausted one at 6 in the morning. Before we go further, if this kind of ancient wisdom speaks to you, subscribe to the channel now. Every week, we bring you another piece of knowledge the East has kept for centuries, and the West is only beginning to discover. Everything you're about to learn in this video is only the surface of a much older tradition, one that goes far beyond sleep, into how Japanese women eat, move, and carry themselves through every hour of the day. We put all of it together in one place, a Woman Japanese Complete. It's pinned in the first comment below this video, but it won't stay there forever. So if this resonates with you, go check it now before it's gone. Now, let's begin with the first pillar. In Shinto tradition, there's a practice called Misogi, a purification ritual performed with water, traditionally under waterfalls, to wash away not the body's dirt, but the spiritual dust accumulated over the day. Worries, words heard, decisions made, the invisible weight of simply having existed in a world full of demands. Few women today climb mountains to stand under a cold waterfall at 5 in the afternoon, but the logic of Misogi survived, domesticated, inside every Japanese bathroom, in a habit the West has reduced to taking a bath before bed, without understanding that the intention behind it is entirely different. In Japan, the nighttime bath, called ofuro, doesn't exist to clean, it exists to separate. It's the dividing line between the woman who worked, cared for others, solved problems, answered messages, smiled when she didn't want to smile, and the woman who's about to sleep. 2 different people, and the water is the portal between them. That changes everything in practice. A hygiene shower lasts 3 minutes, done in a rush, often with a phone in hand, watching a video. A Misogi bath is taken in silence, with no screens, in water hotter than you're used to, between 104 degrees Fahrenheit and 108 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 to 42 degrees Celsius. Because heat makes the body drop its internal temperature right afterward, and it's exactly that temperature drop that signals the brain it's time to shut down now. Set aside at least 10 minutes, with no screen nearby, and treat the bath not as a task on the list, but as the exact moment when the woman who worked all day hands things over to the woman who's about to rest. The water doesn't just wash your skin, it washes off the role you carried all day. There's a Japanese word that architects, artists, and tea masters have used for centuries, one with no direct translation in any Western language: ma. Ma is the empty space between 2 things. It's the pause between 2 musical notes that makes the music exist. It's the gap between a temple's pillars that gives the structure its meaning. It's the silence within a conversation that makes it human, rather than just a crossing of noises. In Japanese design, a room without furniture isn't an incomplete room. It's a room that honors ma, emptiness as an active element, not an absence. Now apply that to your night. The average Western woman leaves work, makes dinner, handles the household, answers messages, watches something on a screen, and goes straight from the last notification to the pillow. There's no ma, no gap. The entire day is one single block with no breathing room between its parts, and the brain, which never received the signal to pause, simply doesn't know where doing ends and resting begins. The Japanese woman you saw at dawn, with glowing skin and clear eyes, likely set aside, the night before, a deliberate stretch of emptiness. No task, no screen, no conversation between the end of her obligations and the start of sleep. It might be 20 minutes. It might be 40. The length matters less than the intention, creating a real gap between the version of you that solves problems and the version of you that's about to sleep. Without that gap, the body lies down, but the mind stays standing. Pick a fixed time when all tasks end, even if things are left unfinished, and protect the time after it as sacred territory. No tasks, no screens, no decisions. Just emptiness. It's in that emptiness that the body learns, once again, how to shut down. In Okinawa, the Japanese region most studied by Blue Zone's researchers for its exceptional longevity, there's a principle elders repeat before every meal, like a mantra, Hara Hachi Bu, which literally means stomach 80% full. The rule is simple and ancient. Stop eating when you're 80% satisfied, not 100%. Always leave a small space of conscious hunger. This isn't about body image. It's about sleep physiology. A heavy nighttime meal, especially one rich in refined carbohydrates or excess fat, forces the digestive system to keep working all through the night, exactly when the body should be directing energy towards cellular repair, collagen production, and memory consolidation. The result is sleep that's technically long, but biologically shallow. You sleep, but your body never actually enters deep restorative sleep. That's why some women sleep 8 hours and wake up puffy and gray-faced, while others sleep 6 and wake up clear-eyed. The difference is often not on the clock. It's on the plate, 3 hours earlier. The traditional Japanese dinner reflects this principle in its very structure. Small portions, served in separate bowls, rich in vegetables, light fish, hot tea, never the single towering plate that dominates the Western dinner table. Eat dinner slowly, with no screen, and stop the moment you feel you could eat more but don't need to. That small space of conscious hunger is what allows your body to work on repairing you all night instead of on digesting you. There's a Japanese word for a very specific state of peace. Not euphoria, not extreme happiness, but a deep, quiet, almost physical calm that settles in when everything is, for a moment, in order. That word is yasuragi. The most common mistake people make when trying to sleep better in the Western world is treating sleep like a switch. You flip it and expect your body to obey. But Yasuragi teaches the opposite. Calm isn't commanded, it's cultivated, in layers, in the minutes leading up to bed. In traditional Japan, that cultivation followed an almost choreographed rhythm. The futon was laid out only at night, never left set up during the day, which made the bed an exclusive symbol of rest, never of work, screens, or anxiety. The tea served before bed was warm, caffeine-free, often made from herbs like chamomile or kuko, goji berry. The light was always low, amber, never white, because white light mimics midday, and the brain, exposed to it, simply refuses to produce enough melatonin. There's a popular saying in Japan, repeated to children for generations, that sums up this entire philosophy. Neru ko wa sodatsu. Neru ko wa sodatsu. The child who sleeps grows. It's not just poetry, it's biology. It's during deep sleep that the body releases growth hormone, repairs tissue, consolidates memory, and regulates cortisol. The phrase was coined for children, but Okinawan elders still repeat it about themselves today because they know the skin that wakes up glowing at 6 in the morning isn't the result of an expensive cream. It's the result of a night that was actually allowed to rest. Turn your bed into territory your mind recognizes exclusively as rest. No working, scrolling, or watching the news there. Swap white light for amber light an hour before bed. And if you can, swap your afternoon coffee for a warm, caffeine-free tea. The body learns through its environment before it learns through willpower. The final pillar is, at once, the simplest and the most overlooked. In Japan, there's a phrase taught to children in nearly every school across the country, part of a national public health campaign that's been running for over 2 decades. Hayane Hayaoki asagohan, meaning sleep early, wake up early, eat breakfast. What makes this phrase powerful isn't the information itself. Everyone's already heard that sleeping early is good for you. It's the almost obsessive insistence on regularity. Not sleep 8 hours when you can, not catch up on the weekend. Japanese culture has understood for generations what modern sleep science only recently confirmed. The body doesn't just care about the number of hours, it cares about the consistency of the schedule. A woman who sleeps at 11 p.m. and wakes at 6 a.m. every single day, without exception, including weekends, trains her biological clock, known as the circadian rhythm, to anticipate deep sleep at the right time every single night. A woman whose bedtime shifts by 2 or 3 hours from one day to the next, even if she sleeps the same total number of hours, lives in a permanent state of mini jet lag. Her body never truly knows when it's supposed to begin repairing itself. That's why the 60-year-old Japanese woman on that Kyoto street looked as if she'd slept on a cloud. Her body wasn't fighting an unpredictable schedule. It simply knew, with decades of certainty, exactly when the night begins and when it ends. Choose a bedtime and a wake-up time, and keep both, including on Saturdays and Sundays, for at least 3 weeks. It's not about rigid discipline. It's about giving your body the predictability it needs to finally stop improvising every single night. None of these 5 pillars alone changes a life. It's not the hot bath that makes the difference. Not the tea, not the light dinner, not the amber light. It's the quiet sum of all of them, repeated night after night for decades, until they stop being effort and simply become who you are. Misogi to wash off the day. Ma to create the gap between doing and resting. Hara Hachi Bu to keep the night from being overloaded. Yasuragi to prepare, not force, calm. And Hayane Hayaoki to give the body the predictability it always asked for, even when you never knew how to listen. The woman you saw sweeping the walkway at 6 in the morning doesn't have an expensive secret. She has a well-closed previous night. Start with just 1 pillar tonight, not all 5. Choose whichever feels most possible for your life right now, and let it, in time, pull the others along with it, the way it has for over 1,000 years for millions of women before you.